Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today is Monday, February 6th, 2023. I am Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. And for anyone over on Podbean, we are on TikTok today. So if you come on the panel, watch your language. If you come on the panel, I am streaming on TikTok today. Hey, Shelby, welcome. Welcome. I like your new photo. Welcome. Okay, so today, start off the Monday. We usually have our serious shows on Monday. So it is. Will your existence be suspended on a scaffold? You're welcome, Shelby. What people will do for power. Does power and greed matter so much you risk the hangman? Will the hangman come for you in the afterlife, and will it be much worse? And yes, it's one of my topics where I'm kind of going back to the death thing, whatever. Hey, Sassy, welcome. So, where do I start? And I'm going to start with power. People who are drunk with power. Why do people want power? Is it so they can control others? Is it because they were teased as a child, bullied on the during recess? Why do some people want power? Why do some people run for president, mayor, governor, prime minister, whatever? Why do they want to have that title? Is it so that they can make change and help society? Or is it where they just want to control other people? Because when you get to that level, my opinion, this is my opinion only, you have that, you have the power to control others. And some people, they go crazy with it. Some people, they, take this power and greed to the next level. where they become, dictators and and just crazy people. I'm just going to say it like that. And I'm not just talking about people in government. I'm talking about people in power. It could be a principal. It could be a teacher. It could be somebody in your household. It could be your mother or father. It could be your sister or brother. Why do some people want it? And will they do so much to get that power that they end up facing the hangman? The hangman could be prison, or it could be that in the afterlife, is it going to be worse? You know, you only get away with things for so long. Even if you've been getting away with something 30, 40, 50 years, sooner or later, it will catch up to you. And I personally think that people who tend to get away with things, in pursuit of power, where they abuse that power, they may get away with it for a long time. But I also think that these same people tend to get it back worse. Hey, Brina, welcome, Marlena Todd, welcome. I just think that having too much power is just something that you just don't want. I mean, I personally would not want it. Hey, crazy lady, welcome.
Hello. Good morning or afternoon. Hope everybody's fabulous today. Um, it's interesting the way you say, like with precepts. I believe that everything comes out in the wash eventually. You may not even be around to see it come around, but everything always comes out in the wash, I say. And
Yes, it does.
and if you don't get, thanked in this, existence, you will in the next, I feel.
So, why do you think people run for president, prime minister, governor, mayor, senator, PTA, school board? I mean, why do you think people run for those offices?
Well, some I hope run for those offices to make the actual make a good a change, for the better. Others, they like having that sense of control. Maybe they didn't have it when they were growing up. Sense of control.
So, do you think the people who want that sense of control, those are the people who, for lack of a better way to say it, were those the people who were teased at recess? Were those the people who, you know, their lunch money, was taken, stolen, or whatever?
I don't know. Could be. You know. I don't know.
Do you believe what I said, that sooner or later it will come back to you, and it may come back to you worse in the afterlife? Welcome.
Karma. We all karma. She's a lady.
Yes, she is. Yes, she
But
is.
she always comes around. Sometimes pretty instant. Other times takes her a minute.
This is true. Welcome, little mama, sweets and treats. Welcome. You know, I, you know, I came up with this topic, as you all know, my Monday through Wednesday, I'm always getting deep, whatever. Because I see, just everything again that's going on in the world, and I look at, Russia and the Ukraine and everything that's going on. It's like, how much power do you need? Do you need to control another country? Do you need to control another city? And if you do, and you have this control, because in the end, when you die, it's not going to matter. You're not going to take a whole country with you to your grave. You're not going to take. I mean, you're not going to take anything. I mean, people can fill your pockets with silver and gold, and tuck it in your casket, when you die, but you're not going to enjoy it. So again, I just come back to, why do some people just, have this need. Hold on, Shelby. I see you want to come up. Hold on, my mouse is doing some crazy things. So hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay, Shelby, welcome. Welcome.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
I think a lot of it's got to do with the fact that you know um, they have lacked uh, control in their life. A lot of it is control. If you don't have control when you're younger, then you have to have that power somehow, and they think that if they um, get that power when they're older or act like that they have that power when they're older, then especially when you are, say, like a police officer or a state trooper or a mayor or a governor or something in that a leadership role of some type, then they feel, oh, I've got this power, then I can be in control.
Okay. Now, what about what Brennan says? Brennan says, I think most of the people that run for those offices start off with good intentions. I think they really believe they can make a difference. And then she says, Brennan says, we took God out of most things, so egos are running rampant. So,
Yeah.
okay. So, would you say that the majority of people in roles of power, when they take that oath of office, they truly believe what they truly are taking the oath of office and believe in what they're doing with good intentions.
Sometimes, yes. I think, in my personal opinion, I could be wrong and y'all might disagree with me, but I think a lot of people that run for president is only there for the retirement or for, when they're out of office, if you ask me. Because a lot of them don't do any good. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Everybody has their own, so let's not shoot the messenger.
So, are you saying that mainly just for the office of president, or would you also say is for someone who is a who's a police officer and has been on the force for 30 years?
No, police officers are different now. I think, just government offices, period. In my opinion, they're there for the money.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's see. Brina's complimenting you on your picture, Shelby.
Oh, thank you, Brina.
So, do you think the fact that we have taken God out of most things that's been a major problem?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So, now you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. So, on
Okay.
our money, on the money in the U.S., when it says, in God we trust, and, should we take, that off of our currency? Should we
Yeah.
saying the Pledge of Allegiance in schools? Should we not, pray in schools? And taking God out of the equation, aren't you? What about the people who don't believe in God? What about those people?
Well, we've already taken him out of schools. We've already taken him out of government offices. The only thing that's left is the money.
So is it the fact that we've taken God out of all of these institutions physically? And when I say physically, I mean it's not on money. No, we don't pray in schools. Um, I mean, is that really going to make a difference? I mean,
I think that's the reason why the world is in the state that it's in. Yeah.
okay, all right. So, do you think that some people, and Crazy Lady, you can just jump in here whenever you want. Do you think that some people, um, are going to get theirs at the end of their life, meaning once they're gone. And if you, again, I'm bringing up the whole purgatory thing, like we were talking about on another show. Do you think that even though they may not get theirs on earth where everyone else can be witness, but they will get it, if you're doing wrong, they'll get it in the afterlife?
I think everybody, will be judged according to their uh, actions. I mean, it's not my place to judge them. That's God's place to judge them.
Okay. All right. And Sassy Sue says they are all in it for the money and power. You know, I personally would not want to be president. I would not want to be, I would want to be any, I would not want to be any office where I had to answer to other people on that level. Because I do believe that it is hard. But I also think that it's also harder to turn down temptation. You know,
Right.
and again, I come back to why, do you equate power and greed the same?
I do,
Do you,
yes.
okay, so you think that people who want power are also greedy?
Yes.
Okay,
Especially in the government.
okay. So I want to bring it back down to a lower level then. If you are that teacher in school, that's a bully. Why do you think that is? And I'm not saying they're bullying, um,
I don't so much think teachers are greedy because they don't make enough as it is.
but do you think they're greedy for power?
That I really don't know. I never came across a teacher that was like that. So I
And
don't know how they.
well, when I say greedy for power, I'm talking about, and I'm pretty sure, we've all seen some of the videos where you have that teacher that's yelling, at this kid. Especially, you have teachers that, mistreat children that are disabled and really can't fight back, whatever. That's, to me, that's power. You're exerting your power over someone who, can't really stick up for themselves.
To me, that's a teacher that's got to cry for help. But yes, it could be power, but I think that's a teacher that's been there way too long and needs help
Needs help in the classroom or needs help mentally?
mentally.
Okay. All right. Okay. Crazy lady, do you want to add anything to this conversation since you're up on the panel?
Um, it all depends on like what kind of power you're placed into. They always say like the best kings are the kings that never wanted to be kings. You know, um, and I think like some of the better people that were in positions of powers that actually like didn't flake it off, and actually like tried to do something are the ones that actually really didn't want the position to begin with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because like sometimes it happens, where people didn't want positions, but they were handed it to it because they were the only qualified person to do it. But I think the ones that actually like go out to seek for power, yeah, they're just they started that whole trajectory wrong.
Okay. Now, Brina says even if someone doesn't believe in God, at least believe in something and feel accountable to something higher than yourself. That's an interesting comment, Brina. And, I mean, I think we all should be accountable for our actions, especially if they affect other people. So, my next question is going to be Why do some people who are in power want to destroy something that is good?
I think it's because of the egos. They want to, I think it, well, the ego and the fact that they are unhappy. Excuse my dog. I'm sorry. There must be something outside. But they're unhappy, so therefore they've got that mentality. Well, if I'm unhappy, everybody's gonna be unhappy.
But I don't know, because see, this is something that I struggle with sometimes when I look at people, especially now. I'm about to go into the church. So we all, not all of us, but some of us, some people say that, we've taken God out, we should be believing God. But isn't it kind of hard to believe in God when you have people of the ministry of church or whatever who are doing the exact opposite of what they're telling you to do? That, if you have, why is my minister, driving around in this, $100,000 car, and you want me to tie a certain percentage of what I make, and I can barely pay rent and food and whatever, but you still want me to give 10%, of what I have, but you're riding around in this expensive car and living the high life. I mean, is that a minister or pastor or bishop, however you want to put it, taking advantage of power?
In that situation, yes, I have seen, um, especially with those that are nationally syndicated. I don't believe they are from God, if you ask me.
Okay. And Sassy says because they want to show the people that they are in control. I mean, it's hard to understand, and I come back to this not just with politicians or with ministers, whatever. I struggle to understand. Hey, D, welcome. How some people and why some people will give all their money or a lot of their money to people who or organizations who sometimes they don't need it at all, but they're poor. They don't have what they need just to survive. So why do some people do that? Why do some people, why? I mean, if I have to pay rent, I'm not going to put my rent money in the offering basket. Is that wrong?
I don't think so. I do not think so.
But there may be some people who may look at me like I am.
Well, that's a problem on their part, not on your part.
Okay. Crucible, welcome. I don't know. It's something that it's something that I just don't understand. But I mean, people can do what they want with their money. But are you encouraging? Are those people who are giving to these ministers, giving to these campaigns, giving to the PTA fund? Are they encouraging these people in power? Are they encouraging greed?
I think they are.
Okay, all right. Before my son was homeschooled, he went to a he went to a school that the principal was, in my opinion, he was crooked. And every time they wanted something, he would always say, "Oh, you can just give us cash, or you can write the check out to the school."
Mm-hmm.
And I never did that. If I would always say, if they say, well, this is for so and so and this is for so and so, I would say, well, who is the vendor? I'll make the check out to the vendor, or I'm not giving you cash, whatever. And he would get upset. And I knew why, and come to find out, sure enough, he was skimming off the top. So do we encourage, when we give and what have you, do we encourage the people in power to become more greedy? Because do they say, well, I can get, this off of Shelby, I can get this off of Solid, whatever. And the more you give to them, the more they ask for more and more and more, and their head gets bigger and bigger.
Yes.
Okay.
And I agree with you on that. If it's that, I would much rather write a check. If I'm going to write a check, I would rather give it to the vendor. I'm not going to, give it to the school, because, embezzlement it's rampant these days.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And I don't see how anybody can have the heart to embezzle money from a school. I mean, especially here. I mean, here we struggle. Schools struggle here because our state can't fully fund schools. And I really want to go beat people up when they're caught embezzling from schools.
Okay. Now, I'm not crazy lady. Shelby just opened up another question that I have, but I'm trying to decide if I'm going to ask it or not. But Brina, I'm going to read what Brina says. Brina says, we don't encourage it. They just see it as an opportunity because most of us trust they will be honest. That's low to take from a school. Okay, so I'm not going to go down that route. Sue says, if they are doing right with the money, then I say no. And she also says, this is Sassy Sue over on TikTok, if you can see progress and growth, then it's worth it. So do you all believe in that? If you can see progress and growth, then it's worth it?
Well, yeah. I see that it's actually going towards what they're saying it's going to go towards, then yeah. I would. But for example, our state, when they agreed to have casinos here, they agreed that this casino tax would go to fund education. Okay, so we voted, it went through. The lottery. Well, to go back to that, we have not seen that go to education dollars at all. Okay, so the lottery come in, we voted on that. They said the same thing. We've only seen, I think they've deposited less than $250,000 for education on that. And that's only been one deposit. And we've had that lottery here for, I'm going to say, almost 3 years. They make buttloads of money on that lottery.
Mm-hmm.
They can very well fund education, period, off that lottery alone.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they said they were going to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, this is a hot topic for me.
No, and you're saying stuff that I wanted to get into, but I'm just trying to read. I'm trying to hold back on that one.
I'm sorry.
No,
you must disagree with me.
No, I know. I agree. I just disagree. Angela, welcome. Angela, welcome. I just don't understand. I guess I'm coming back to with the whole greed and power thing. I just don't understand why you have people who support people in situations like this where they are not doing anything for you.
Right.
So I'll that's the easiest way I can say it without really getting into trouble with some people and what have you. But why, if you live in an area that that is not being supported for the things you want, why do you consistently vote the same people in? If
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. You know, you know,
They, like, a lot of people in Congress should not be there. I'm not going to name any names. They're 80 something years old. They should have been gone years ago.
true. And at the same time, we have some people who are not going to name names who are 30 and 40 years old that shouldn't be there at all.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so I mean, I'm just saying, and I'm just talking about not just for you know Congress and the presidency or Senate, whatever. I'm talking about, even again, I'm coming back just down to the local level. I mean, why do we keep allowing a principal to run a school if they're taking money off the top of the lunch money, whatever, or if they're mistreating kids, or they're looking the other way while the teacher's doing this or doing that. Why
Right.
do we allow law enforcement to be on the force, and you're looking away because you have this code of blue? Why do some doctors look the other way when they know that their counterparts should not be you know in the OR performing a surgery when they know that they just got finished drinking?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so are we encouraging that when we support that, when we vote for that, when we keep silent, whatever? Are we encouraging people in power, and they are able to puff up their chest a little bit more because they know or think no one's going to turn them in, no one's going to say anything?
I think so. I think a lot of it's got to do with people are scared.
Okay, and
People are scared to go against anybody in power.
see, and I agree with you 100% on that. Sassy Sue says you are defeating the purpose. um I'm not sure what you mean by that, Sassy. I'm not sure what you mean by that. To see, they are afraid to speak up because they will lose their jobs. Okay, they are
Mm-hmm.
afraid to speak up because they will lose their jobs. But but in the end, how will you be judged when it's the afterlife for you? How will you be judged because you kept silent? You know, I did. We we did a podcast um, last week on friendly differences, and our guest, Thomas the villain, who is on TikTok, um, he made a point, and the example he gave was for law enforcement. He says if you have one police officer who is doing something wrong, and you have the other 99 police officers who are not doing anything wrong, but those 99 do not speak up and say what the one is doing, then that 99 is just as bad as the one.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
I do too.
You know, and Brina says no more school supply lists. I can't stand them. Brina, I remember having to do the school supply list, and I could not stand that either. I was so happy when I homeschooled my son. And I had to do that stupid, and it was those school supply lists that I didn't have when I was in school. But I mean, so again, how will we be judged? The people who are not craving that power, the people who are not greedy, but we're not speaking against the ones that are. And I'm not talking about if you're in a position where if you speak up you can lose your job. I'm saying that you just don't speak up on something that is wrong, period. But you can say you can come up with another reason why this person is okay, or why this program is okay, or why it's okay to to do this this and that, when you know that you shouldn't.
Right. I think in a lot of ways, just like that person that said that they're scared of losing their job, there's a lot of people that rely on governmental benefits. And I do think that they are scared of losing those governmental benefits. And that's another reason why they don't say anything, in my opinion. And I think, as far as being judged, that's one way that they're judged, is by losing those benefits, or losing their job, or losing even benefits on a job. Excuse me. You have a person that's in power at your job, like my husband, where he works, he's got a plant manager. That plant manager can make sure that you don't have your insurance. I mean, you may be able to keep your job, but they're going to make it darn hard. And I mean, just absolutely extremely, what's the word I'm looking for?
Difficult.
Right, difficult for you to want to stay there.
Okay. Crazy lady, you wanted to pipe in? Crazy lady.
You also got to
I
think.
see your mic. Okay. All right, there.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Um, you on a point made that. Think about how many people when they go and vote, they just vote their party. Like if they're Democrat, they just vote all Democrat all the way down the line, and they really not know anything about the candidates.
Hmm.
Problem of how people stay in power. So they'll go Democrat all the way down.
Okay. Okay, I got the vote Democrat all the way down, but you were going in and out there.
Okay, hold on.
But to what crazy lady says, people, do vote their party. I mean, I do, but I'm also checking out, what people are for. But nowadays, it's just getting harder and harder to vote for anyone, and I don't know. Again, I say, well, go ahead, crazy lady.
No, that's what I think. Like part of it, part of the problem is, is the the ones that just vote because it's their party.
Okay, but you can say that about everyone too, right?
Well, yeah, you know, um, I mean the system's definitely corrupt. You know, um,
Okay, so do we have a corrupt system, or do we have corrupt people in power?
well, if the people in power are corrupt, then the system becomes corrupt.
So then can I say, would it be fair to say that the system was not always like that? That it was always a good system, but because humans, being who we are, made it
Yes,
corrupt system. Okay.
yes. I
Okay.
think when our founding fathers first started it and came up with the way that we were going to do this, the concept was actually kind of good. You know, um, you know, they didn't want the government to be in charge of like individual states, you know, but be like a big brother, you know, and yeah, I think humans have totally screwed up, as always. A lot of good things.
Okay, so welcome everyone who is joining on TikTok. And again, if you want to join in the conversation, you'll have to come over to Podbean um, to come up on the panel and actually speak. So, you just look around and you see everything that is going on, and you have some people who will hang tooth and nail. I mean, they will do anything for power. And I think, we just, since we're talking about Congress, we just witnessed that. We just witnessed what people will do and give up and negotiate for power. So oh, good, cool, crazy lady, cool, very nice. So you know, I'm sorry, I'm looking at your cattle dog comment. So it's like, instead of, do some people not know how to take loss and then go home? But they want that power so much they'll keep trying again and again and again.
Oh, definitely. There's people out there that do not like to lose.
That coach on that football team or that coach on that basketball team, are you willing to put your player at risk where they can really harm themselves, even, or I'm sorry, or injure themselves even more, because you want them back out on that football field or that basketball court because you're trying to, win a title or something? That you have the power, you're using your power to bully someone. I mean, power is people in power are found in just different places. You have that priest, who is assaulting and molesting children. I guess I better watch myself where I go here because I'm because I'm on TikTok. Sassy Sue says no because it could end their career. I it's you have these people again in power who, is this minister telling these children, well, this is what God wants you to do, and the kid is either so afraid that he may not get into heaven, or that Father Pete or whomever will do whatever. I mean, what will people do for power? How far will people go for power? Will they go for, they risk it so much that when I say they risk the hangman, I mean, are they risking just losing it all because you were so greedy? Sometimes, is it best that maybe I should not have said anything? Maybe I just should have kept my mouth shut, and I would still have all these millions that I have. But I was so, drunk for power and stuff, all my business came out into the street. I mean, what will people do for power? I mean, I personally see people who are so what I want to say, so drunk for power that it's almost like a drug to them, that they need that fix. And that fix is being able to tell other people what to do, being able to puff out your chest or put your shoulders back, and walk around like, you know, you're you're the big cheese.
It is
So,
like that. It very well is like that. We have a gentleman in our state that has ran for every single office and has not gotten in any office.
Do you think he's not getting in because people see that you're just running for any and everything? Seriously. Or is he just not a good?
Oh, he's good. He's smooth. He's a smooth talker, but I don't think he's
So,
getting in because, honestly, in my opinion, God's taking care of that.
okay. All right. Sassy Sue says they will sell their soul. And I truly believe that people do sell their
Oh
souls.
yeah, they do. Yeah.
I think we see it every single day. You turn on the news, somebody's doing something. You walk down the street. Somebody's doing something. It's like, some people will sell their soul just to
That's
have
right.
that power. So okay, Brina and Crazy Lady are going back and forth about the puppies. So, would you guys want a significant um, piece of power?
Repeat that.
Would you want a would you want power? Let me put it like that. Would you want power?
No, I'm happy the way I am.
I mean, I look at when you look at our government, and I'm talking about the U.S. government. I wouldn't want to be any of them. I would not
Mm-mm.
want to be any of them, no matter what side you fall on. I would not want to be any of them because you are never going to please everyone. I mean, if you can't even go to a school board meeting and please everyone without a fight breaking out, imagine what it's going to be like if you're up at that, higher up on the ladder. I mean, you have parents that can't even please their kids because one wants this one, the other one wants wants that one.
Oh, I know that.
You're stuck in the middle. I guess I should be happy that I only have one. But I remember what it was like, with me and my sisters. Like, we each want something different. But then my mother would always end it with, "Well, neither one of you are getting anything." So we both, you know, screwed ourselves.
Well, I can tell you about, the headache. My husband was once a leader over his group, and excuse me, and he would come home so stressed. And I mean, I could see from when he wasn't a leader to when he was a leader, the difference that it made. And he had to step down. There was just nothing I've done or said or anything during that time made him happy. He was literally coming home, he was taking it out on me, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, we're not going to have this. You're either going to have to step down or you're going to have to learn to leave work at work. So, it's a headache to be in charge of other people, you know? I mean, but in his case, he's not the type to be in power. There
So,
are people that are like that, but then there are people that think, oh yeah, I can handle this. Oh yeah, I can take care of these folks. I can do this to this one and do that to that one.
but Shelby, but when you say that, hold on, what Brina says. Brina says, same. I wouldn't want all that responsibility. Um, you know, uh, let's see. Okay. So do you really believe that there are people who were meant? I just make sure that I want to make sure that you said this right. That people who are meant to be in power.
I'm not really saying meant. I'm just saying there are people that can handle it better, and so to speak.
Do you think that eventually people who are in power will eventually become corrupted by that power? I'm not saying
Yes,
to the point where,
yes, they
okay,
will be corrupt, or you know they, yes, and they will eventually crack, in my opinion.
crack as in mentally crack or crack as
Yes, yes, mentally crack. It might not be, when it first starts, but several years later, it could be even be when, the power ends. Just the thought. This is just my opinion now. Not everybody might feel that way, but just in my opinion, I think several years later, after the power ends, the thought of uh, knowing or uh, no, reminiscing over it, it could get to that person. I would think.
okay. Crazy Lady says, I really like responsibility, but I did a good job. Brina says, yep, all the career politicians probably started off with good intentions, but ended up being self-serving. Hey, Chill, welcome. You know, so again, taking it out of the political realm and going back just to the regular old regular folk. Um, why do you think that you have some people just in their own households who feel, whether it's the husband or the wife, feels like they have to be king or queen and ruler, and they have an unyielding household? Is that being a bully, or is that having that power go to your head?
I think it's the power going to the head. Like I said when we first come on, I think it's more like less the fact that they had no control when they were younger, and that they think, that they're older, and they think, oh well, it's my time to shine now. You know that
Do you
it's. Go ahead.
do you think people who were bullied as a child will end up? I'm not a psychiatrist or therapist or anything, but do you think that people who were bullied as a child, be it within their own household or be it outside the household, that they will become power hungry when they get older and seek positions like that, like being the supervisor of a whole bunch of people, at the local McDonald's or whatever, or
Could
CEO.
be.
Okay, okay.
Could be. And certain, I'm not that type person. I mean, I was bullied all throughout school, and I'm not that type person. Now, I could be my own boss, yes, but no, I couldn't be a boss over others. I just don't have the heart to do that.
Okay. All right. And Brina says, I think most bullies turn out to be a-holes
Yes, or serial killers.
or serial killers. Okay. Chill. Welcome.
Hey everybody,
Hey, Chill.
what's happening?
Nothing much. Just chit chatting.
I can feel you smiling at me, girl. I'm smiling back. You know. Hmm.
Chill, 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 chill.
Oh man. But yes, I was I think I agree with that. What you said. A lot of times, people who have complexes when they have a complex, right? Because everybody get bullied to some degree, and they get over it. But it ain't nothing but that's the police, that's the military, that's a lot of those organizations where you gotta get like little man syndrome or just like I got put in the locker syndrome. So now he's lifts weights every day and he takes himself some too seriously. Doesn't ever joke about anything because or just takes jokes the wrong way on purpose because he's just a bully as a child. So that definitely happens. I see that every day, especially the guy that's just oh my gosh, the beefhead that walking around that has to prove itself to everybody. That's a telltale sign you was either bullied or might be even abused at home. So it can be more than just bullying sometimes.
Okay, so do you believe that the person who wasn't like that, that one day they wake up and they want to run for office or whatever, and then all of a sudden they just turn into this power hungry, rich,
I don't think that the person.
whatever?
I think that person is. I don't think that's that. Well, it can be for sure, but I think a lot of times those people that run the country, like the politics, they're silver spooners. A lot of them are already silver spooners that have never been told no, and that will win at any cost. Typically, they don't win; they cheat, but they'll convince themselves they're winners, and because they cheat, because they do anything to win. They don't have any kind of moral compass, although they appear to have one because they got a suit and they speak to King's English and whatever. But politicians are probably some of the worst people, I would think. So not that I care or and it's good or bad. It's just as far as morally, I probably think they're probably the worst things walking the earth. Um,
You
but
know, it's interesting that you say that when you said that they were never told no, and I think you have a point there. People who are not told no, um, they're used to having their own way, which I guess with, you know, therefore I want.
and I want to make the world to where I see fit,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll be able to manipulate it, act like there's a wrong and a right, but behind doors, I'm manipulating things my way. You just can't see it. I'm acting as if I'm straight and narrow, but until it's my family or until it's my time to take advantage of whatever it is, as long as you can't see it, oh, you're so horrible. You're just the one, most critical. Like, be aware of the most critical person in the room. They're probably they're probably behind doors. Is just the worst. You just can't see it.
What
The
if
goody
you?
two shoes. Ugh. Yeah.
But what if you are someone who you have no talent? When I say you have no talent, I mean you can't really do anything. Do you think that those people see themselves as those if they were in power that they would use that power in a negative way because they grew up. I mean, it's like some people aren't talented, and some people feel lost, and those lost people crave power. I mean, would you say that's true, or you think that I'm
Eh,
stretching?
well, if you no talent, typically they have some type of talent, right? They can't be in that position without having some type of exceptionalism, at least discipline. Because to get in there, you still gotta have some type of something. Got to be there. You might be an overachiever, you know what I'm saying, or a try hard, but you're doing something exceptional, So, um, I mean, I don't know. No, if you're speaking in terms of politician base, I don't think that you gotta
No,
have
I'm
some type of talent.
saying in terms of
But if you're
politics.
just talking about like a
I'm
Kardashian,
overall.
yeah,
I'm saying overall.
yeah, like if it's like a Kardashian and you just nowadays no talent, then you
Okay,
just
so
making money because it's
you brought up okay for the Kardashians. Would you say that? I probably shouldn't say this, but
they're
I'm.
famous. They're famous for doing nothing, being existing.
But do you
They're
think?
famous for existing and beautifully existing.
But do you think they have power?
For sure, they do. It's always power in the most egregious thing. Like the person who has the most power is the most either people who have power in this world are people they crave it. They have to have it. They're probably psychopaths. They probably the 1%ers are psychopaths for sure. Because it's just what you have to do. Like what have I experienced with some of these people? It's this like being a part of your company and you're doing this like this. You got to know this has happening, and so you just do it by any means. You know what I'm saying? That by any means guy that's it. It doesn't mean he's the smartest. It just means he's the by any means guy. And so Jeff Bezos especially I hate the Steve Jobs guy. Oh, that gets on my nerves. Especially if shit I read about him. He was a it
So
just you get cut.
watch your language. I'm
Okay,
screaming
gotcha,
on to TikTok.
gotcha. Yeah, so yeah, that's horrible. Like those, I beware of those people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying every single one is like that, But to get to that point, you got to definitely not care about others to some degree to make it to that huge point. Like just by how reading about how they are and what they have to do or what their companies let go on happen, and they gotta know. You know, like the people who own the cigarette companies, they knew, but
Yeah.
they still let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
People who push corn syrup, they know how bad corn syrup is to a society. Still doing it to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Like and people laugh at it. I'll never forget that they laughed at Ricky Williams for saying sugar is one things he probably indulged in that's the worst for him because he stopped the NFL for smoking weed and he went to like some type of in Australia or some type of like village and kind of like took a hiatus from football. And they had an interview with him. And they said, "Well, what do you indulge in anything that hurts you now?" They knew he smoked weed, but he said, "What you mean sugar?" And the dude laughed at him. But they don't know that sugar is if you know what you're talking about, it's really horrible, especially in abundance in our society, which is probably cancer, diabetes, like basis to all of that. So it's and they know it, so they still push it in abundance in our society. So these people don't care. They got the science for it.
Okay. All right. Shelby, you want to respond to what Jill said, or you know?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. Kardashians, they're living off of a name. They're not, it's nothing else, but they're living off of a name.
So, would you say that now? Jill said that they had power. Would you say that they're greedy?
Yes, they're greedy off of a name. They have power, and they're living off of the name. It's all they're doing.
So if they're
No.
so if they were the Smiths or the Joneses and they were the exact same people,
would they be on TV? No,
yeah.
I don't think so.
So you're saying they're living off of their father's name,
right?
Okay. Okay. So would you say that most people, and I'm not just talking, well, I have to kind of, I guess I can't have to say kind of famous people because they are famous because whatever, but would you say that people who endorse products, are they greedy?
It depends on what the product is and who they are.
So if you're endorsing a product that makes you a lot of money, is that greed, or is it just the fact that you just happen to get a really good deal or whatever that's making you a lot of money?
If you're a Kardashian, I think it's more greed. But if you're a Smith, I think it's a legitimate love for the product.
Okay, all right. Hey, Jelly, are you on both TikTok and you're on both TikTok and Podbean? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Mary, let's see. Welcome to you. Your first time. So, see now, I don't want to, dump on the Kardashians, but that was a very good example to bring up. You but I mean,
I think
so
they're all a bunch of airheads, if you ask me.
okay, so then let me ask this then. Do you blame them for making the amount of money that they have? Like
No.
do you begrudge them for making the amount of money that they have?
No, I blame people for wanting to watch their stupidity.
Okay. Now Brina said,
and I have a family member that watches them religiously, and I do tell her this all the time.
Brina says that an influencer can be helpful if you're on the fence about buying something, but these people took it too far, made a whole career of it. Okay, so again, okay,
exactly, Brina.
Made a career, airheads, absolutely. Okay, they made a career for it. Some people fell for it, not all. I do not pay attention to the Kardashians or anything, but do you again begrudge them because they were able to, whether it's their name, their looks, their whatever, marrying different people, every 5 seconds, whatever. You,
Really?
you begrudge them for what they have. I mean, when you say they made a career out of it, I mean, what's the difference between the Kardashians doing what they're doing, but you have people on TikTok who are making millions? So,
Like,
is there a difference?
I don't think there's a difference. Brenda just said no, they played us, and I can't get mad at them. That's the way I feel. I can't get mad at them for being smart, and using that name. I mean, they did. They played it smart, but I just think that they got their fame out of being smart. No, I can't be mad at that. But I also don't have to watch their show and, you know, get their products that they endorse or, support them. I don't have to support them.
Well, being savvy and
So,
being smart. Hold on. Being savvy and being smart, or being, what's the word I'm looking for? That's not smart. I wouldn't call them smart. It shows that you don't have to be smart. You can be very average intelligence. I mean, the mom is obviously smart, but her kids are not extraordinarily talented at anything
Astroscience?
except being beautiful, right? So, and that's just in some people's eyes. So, it's nothing. Sex and drugs sell themselves. Come on now, you have to be smart. That's what I really get, like, especially when they like do the drug dealer, like or like just a they it sells itself. You're not a genius because you made millions off of being like taking advantage of people and their weaknesses.
are they taking advantage of people?
Of course, their weakness. Like if you have fame and you peddle that fame, yeah, of course. Obviously, it's easy
But
to be
is it,
cute
but is it
and make money off of it if you got a name.
okay? But isn't it your responsibility not to fall for that? I mean, can we blame them if we go out
No,
and run?
what's wrong with falling? First of all, what's wrong with falling for it? Yeah, I can fall for it. Why not? I'm not saying this is a wrong or right thing. I'm just saying it doesn't make them intelligent at all. It just makes them whatever opportunists. That's the word I'm looking for.
Or would you
That's what
say
it
that
makes them,
everyone
and it's not
isn't?
hard to do that.
But would you say that everyone is an opportunist? That we all look for some type of opportunity? We all
Right.
look.
So that's I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm okay with that. When I once again I'm saying it's not doesn't make you intelligent to do that. If you're 7 foot tall and go play basketball and make a career, you ain't do nothing special. You know what I'm saying? You just went out and did what you're supposed to do. You made it to the league, make a couple dollars. That I mean, let me. If the guy is 5'4", he might be a little bit better at it than you. That did it. That did it. You know what I'm saying? So that's exceptionalism for me. Like, just don't. You're gonna get the throw the word intelligent out for people who aren't intelligent. Kardashians aren't intelligent. They're just opportunists to the umpteenth degree in every single way. Now their mom is very intelligent, and she you can see how she grasps their moves and how to take care, especially
Say that she's intelligent or she is an opportunist and she sees
she's
oh
both.
she
Now you
takes.
can be both. You can be both. I think she's both. The kids maybe not so much. Is what I'm saying. It's easy to make a
No, the
mixtape
daughters
or
aren't for
take.
sure. But I
If you
do
make a
agree with you,
mixtape,
Chill. I agree with you. The mom is a smart cookie.
yeah,
And
you make a
she's probably
mixtape
the one she's
and
probably
take
the
advantage
one
of it.
that started them and got them to where they are. But I'm just saying, they're living off of a name.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I get that, but overall, I feel like still, if equal name or not, it doesn't take too much to put out a sex tape and it goes viral, and then to, hey, you know what? Opposed to being ashamed of it, let's make a makeup. Let's make it like you know what I'm saying. Let's make an Instagram and start twerking even more. Let's go date another high profile guy and keep on dating them until my pH balance is off. You know, who cares? Like, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I make millions that way. It's proven, and this is
But
age
that's what
old.
I'm
It's been
saying.
out there.
Who's not going to want to date a Kardashian? They've got millions of dollars.
I wouldn't never. I would never.
Oh, come on now, chill.
No,
Now listen to
You
me.
can't sit
If
there
I
and
if
say you wouldn't.
I what? So you're telling me I wouldn't, or
I
are
mean,
you
'cause
listening, or are you telling me?
I can honestly say that I would not date somebody just because
Yeah, not
they're
at all. Not at all.
no,
I wouldn't date
no.
them. Now, if it was a one night thing and we having fun, sure, you can get it. But I'm not about to be up there with my arm around you like, hey, this is my baby. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. She for the streets. I'm an old school. I don't care how much money you got or don't got. She you for the streets. You for the streets. And I don't want to come home with nobody that's for the streets.
Okay.
Okay, if you say so.
I mean, because I mean,
I
I
don't care about money. I don't need it. I can make my own money. You know what I'm saying? I don't even need that much. A lot of those people are greedy. They need that. They feel like they need more money. How much money you need in a lifetime? You don't need fame and money. That's people do that. I feel like there is something wrong with them type of people that need fame and have to have it, all of it. That's
All the
they're
time.
typically horrible people. They appear
Yeah.
to be good, but they're under the cover. They don't really they care about as long as they're getting what they get out of it. As long as they're the top of what they're getting out of it, they're good. But something don't go their way.
well, I mean, I would think that people who date someone for money, they're the ones that are greedy, and they're the ones that want the power. But like you said, I mean, you can make your own money. Just because somebody has it doesn't mean that you necessarily want it and want to be around them. Especially you have people who have money who are just horrible people. How much are you willing to sell your soul? I think there are a lot of people who are not willing to sell their soul just to be with somebody who has money and power. So I don't know. Official welcome to Crypto Never Sleeps Crazy and Power Girl. Welcome to you. Welcome. Well, guys, that is my show. Chill, you have any last words you want to add?
Oh well, no. It was good while it lasted, right? But yeah, I'll try to get in a little bit more this week. Maybe tomorrow I'll be back.
All right.
But
And this Shelby.
Um, I just want to say that it was a good show. Very good discussion. Uh, I just think that, you know, I think greedy people come from a different breed.
and you know what else
Yes.
though? Well, real quick, I think if I've, especially like in this room, I think there's a lot of intelligent people that come through and amongst this show, and you being one of them, solid. Like if you wanted to be rich, like beyond belief, you probably could. If you wanted to mess with the right person or do it or mess over the right person, you know what I'm saying? That's easy. What's hard is to try your best to live a life of some type of code. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to, I could be rich right now, like beyond belief. I'm sure I could easily. You know what I mean? Any one of us could. So I think that's the biggest difference between those people that are there and us. We put a premium on them like they're somebody that they're not. That's all. That's
Okay. Shelby, anything else for you?
No, I think that's all I had to say.
Okay. Well, thank you, Shelby, Chill, and Crazy Lady for popping up on the show. Thank you for people over on TikTok and hello, Prep and Money. Welcome over on TikTok. And that's all I got. So I'm going to leave you guys with Chicago Shuffle Blues, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. So go where the wind takes you. This is Chicago Shuffle Blues. And that's it, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day or weekend, wherever you are in the world. Bye.